I'm really excited about Bloody Scotland. I've been at Harrogate, which is a big inspiration for what we're doing up in Stirling, and I just think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, we have some great crime writers in Scotland, and the idea of that being a focus, sort of genre focus for a long weekend of events is just fantastic, and I'm really excited. It's always lovely to get out and meet readers. That's the joy of doing events for writers. You get to communicate with readers and meet other writers and get top tips. There's 4 of us. We're all newbie crime writers. So there's Anna Smith and Frank Muir and John Gordon Sinclair, all of whom I think are writing contemporary crime. So I'm the only swotty historical novelist in that crew, and we're going to be discussing our books and why we decided to write crime and what about it really, what about those stories particularly interest us. Me really, and I mean I'm an avid reader as well as a writer. It's about the reading for me, and for me, and I think for most readers really, it's about the story. Story is just word heroin, and if you can't put a book down, that's the joy of it. You disappear into this world. And I think in Scottish writing particularly, story is very important because we come from such a strong oral tradition, so we have a really good sense of narrative drive. And that really suits crime writing. That's particularly important in crime writing. And I think that's why we have so many amazing crime writers actually in Scotland. Brighton Belle is the story of Mirabelle Bevan, and Mirabelle Bevan is in fact kind of Miss Marple with an edge. And it's set in 1951, set in Brighton, only a few years after the war. Mirabelle thinks after the war her life is over, and she goes down to Brighton and gets what she thinks is a dead-end job in a debt collection agency, and turns out that it's not a dead-end job at all, and she gets involved in a whole load of mysteries. So after the Second World War, everyone was so damaged. You know, you read all this material, you see video materials, everyone was bereaved. They had lost people that they loved. They had done secret things during the war. There were a lot of people who couldn't talk about what they'd done because of the Official Secrets Act. There were a lot of people who were really ashamed of what they'd done during the war. They'd killed people and they'd seen all kinds of horrendous atrocities. And that whole decade was really, in British culture, about recovering. Mm-hmm. And that's what the series is about. It's, I suppose, at one level, although there's crime in there too, it's about Mirabelle's recovery from what she did during the war. We're on as part of the Fresh Blood event, and we're on at 12 o'clock on the Saturday in the Stirling Highland Hotel in the McLaren Suite. Doesn't it sound swanky? I bet you there's a jacuzzi.